Technology Screens. Today, it's interesting how the Lord will bring things to me on how to handle situations and so forth, and how to out things that need to be outed, you know, that need to be exposed, that need to be showed off, to be displayed. So, in one of my demonstrations, I did this already, but it was so buried by other things that I was doing, and it was completely a video that would easily get overlooked, and I would have to search for it in my archives, unless I had something that I did just right up top by just naming it as, which I should have did. All right, so in this demonstration, I'll be back. Put some things away real quick. In this demonstration, we're going to be comparing the white levels of a Signature 17 versus the white levels of a UV Mix. Now, UV Mix being the darkest screen paint that the individual makes, which we have right here. This is the UV Mix right there. That's how dark it is. This is supposed to be his darkest product that he makes. So what we're going to do is we have the Elite screen out. Underneath that, we have our Digital and Crystal screen paint. That is the 8-year-old screen paint we developed 8 years ago. We have this on the Elite screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a UV Mix and we're going to put this on the white screen. Let me touch some of this underneath here like so. We're going to put this on the white screen. Let me get some fresh tape for this. Okay. And this right here is his UV Mix painted onto, if you can see a little better. There we go. That's his UV Mix painted on this surface right here. I'm going to place that right here in the center. All right. So see how that fares up to white levels, because nothing's going to hit a higher white level than a white screen. Now, our screen is a white surface too. A Pro P3, which is interesting because our screen is actually acoustic too. So we're going to use two different screens instead of one. He only has one. I have two. So mine. I'll put mine right here. I got to bring the projector out, swing it around, and then we're going to use Vivastorm's white screen, also to acoustic, on our acoustic screen. Also, bone white screen. I'm going to use that one also too. So he has one large screen, which is the Elite, and I have the acoustic. I have two of them. I have a Vivastorm against my screen, and I also have a Elite. This is also Elite screen also too. I think I'm gonna bring it over here just to be better. If I bring it closer to here. I want to have to bring down two of my projectors, so I can do, that screen's big enough to do one, to have one projector here and then have another projector there, so we could have two projectors running at the same time. All right, I'm grabbing a projector and a setup. One of the things I have told you that I've developed screen paint for quite a long time, and there are so many combinations and screen paints in my head. I literally know exactly how a product is made just by looking at it. After years, I know for a fact that how we make our digital and crystal screen paint pretty much, if anything matches that, we already know from the door where to start from. So that stuff is a very, very simple ingredients to make, or screen paint to make. Now, usually, the more darker screen paints, such like the UV mix, are pretty much nothing more than dark gray paint and black paint. And I'll tell you why. You can't put a light gray paint in there. There's gonna be a problem. It means you're going to have to put a ton of black in there in order to darken the screen. And the base can't be white, which is virtually impossible, because if the base is white, you can start off with about 4 teaspoons of black. Well, what happened is you'll end up with a gray screen, like a light gray screen. You're going to have to put in a ton of black in order to get the screen to darken like that. So they usually would start off with a dark gray paint. That means they could darken the screen even faster with black. So that's the way to go. I know this, like I said, we used to make this stuff back in the day, so I know all this stuff already. I know all the little tricks and everything they do. And not tricks, but how they design the ingredients. Because I said before, we used to make it. All right, so we got to get a projector. What am I doing in the projector? Now, what I don't like is I don't like unfair demonstrations. People, certain individuals, delivery will put lighter screens against darker screens, knowing that the lighter screen is going to have a bit of an advantage point, especially when produced. What I've already seen from some of the demonstrations, that the products that are used by these individuals are fake and diluted and altered. Okay. So we're at 4,300 lumens. Our Chrissy LW U420, plenty of power. Now, as I said before, when you develop a black screen or a darker screen, the key part is that the white levels have to be a certain level. If they're too high, contrast suffers and color suffers. If they're too low, then everything suffers. Then we'll see from here. Now, on the largest screen, we have an elite screen, official screen, with the UV mix. Over here, on my screen, we have an Acoustic Pro 3 by Elite Screen, and also to a Vivistorm. We decided to do 2 of them against the Signature 17, which has an invisible black coating. Now, keep in mind that when we test these screens, anytime we test any of the technology we develop, the first thing we do, especially against certifies, is we have to display the white levels first. White levels must be displayed against other screens, especially when you're using a black formula, to show that your screen can manage and maintain decent white levels to be to produce an image that is viewable. There is no way in the world possible that I would be able to develop a technology that the images would be so dark you couldn't see them, because then the product itself on my end, I wouldn't be able to use it and I would not be able to see the screen. Keep in mind, I don't own TVs. I own nothing but projection screens. And the majority of the projection screens in my home are black. So if it did come up as a certain individual said it did, there's no way in the world it would have produced that image in a fully lit environment on a live demonstration. And there's no way in the world I would be able to see the screen. As you saw this morning, I can lay on my bed and I can actually work on my computer, which is actually an acoustic black screen. All right, so let's start from here. I think I have the... Okay, dope. Let's come over and move over. We're going to be doing all white levels today. Okay, let me track down. Oh, there's a remote control. I did put it up. All right, good. We did put the remote control up, so that's good. That's a plus for today. All right, so we're going to go over from white scene to white scene. First thing we're going to do is the Skyworth food demonstration. I had to remove Wi-Fi. I had to do. All right, let's go over to Skyworth food demonstration. All right, there's the Skyworth food demonstration. We'll get up close so you can see for yourself. All right, we're going to pause it there, right? On the dishes, you can see how dark it's coming up on the UV mix versus the Elite White screen. Now we're going to switch over to here and see if its images show like that, which means our screen should come up that dark. All right, okie doke. Move this over. Ugh. There we go. So we're right up on top. There we go. And I think I need, all right, more lens strip. Okay, bring those down then. Got to bring those down. Now, as I said before, that when we test out our products, we have to test them against a white surface. Anytime a black screen is developed, any form of black technology, dark technology, has to be tested against a white surface so we can see exactly where the white levels lay when it comes to our technology. Our technology, we already know from the door, is going to produce a slightly lower white level. But the white level has to be high enough where it can maintain an image. As you can see with the individual bowls and the plates in the back, you have to be to see that crystal clear. If it's too dark, then we know we have a problem there. That's why, again, as I said before, tests are very important. If you don't test your product, you don't know how it's going to react if you put it against these particular surfaces. That's why it must be tested. And when you cut corners, well, this is the results you get when you cut corners. Now, as you can see, our screen's not black, it's not dark. You can make out the image crystal clear. You can see the rack in the back where the dishes are, the different color plates. The bowls, you can see it all, correct? And mind you, that is an Elite Screen Pro Acoustic. And this right here is a Vivistorm. Two different screens, both white. All right. Now we're going to switch over to the UV mix. That's up against the Elite Screen. See how dark the image comes up? The problem you have here is that the image is producing too high of a black level, and it doesn't have the ability to be able to read a white level. And usually this reaction happens when you're dealing with a product that's just everyday paint. Paint reacts this way. There's nothing added into it to change it or alter the chemical at all. It reacts this way. Paint is not magical. It has to have something added to it to change the reaction of the formula, or basically the chemical. It has to have a reaction in there. So I can see when the projector hits it, it's coming up as a dark image. All right, let's continue on. Now, the reason why we know when people do falsified demonstrations, because like I said, the same way you're watching me hit this screen with this projector, with these white sample sheets against it, are the same tests all our technologies have to go through. They have to go through this because we need to see. Now for y'all, we have to see on our end where the white levels lay. We're going to pause it there. Got nice bright colors here. Some pastel teacups. See how dark that looks right there on the UV mix. All right, now we're going to switch over to the signature over here. This is going to be going on our website under false paints. Paints to watch out for. Why you got to watch out? This is the real demonstration when I talk about how products, when people, when they do it, they fake it, they mix products. We're not mixing anything together. That's this product here. We have the container over there showing that we bought the product. We have an unboxing video of us purchasing the product, showing a bill of sale receipt so you can see it for yourself. This is what white levels look like on our screen. Our screen can pull up the individual cups, as you can see. In the background, you can see the food, the reds, the greens, the yellows. Oh, I don't think that's a plant or a cup or whatever that is. You can even see the green top on top of the shelf that is holding the cups with no problem whatsoever. Look at the white screen, completely washed out. So not only is the contrast screen picking up a high enough white level, but it's also picking up a contrast level blended in with that to give you detail without basically washing out your screen. Now, we'll go back over to the UV mix over here. And I guarantee you, bar none, that you have probably never seen a demonstration like this under the person who developed this. I guarantee you. You know why? Because he probably saw it behind closed doors and decided to stick to basically doing contrast levels either in a poorly ambient light controlled environment or in the dark. He never tested against anything lighter, because if he did, these are the results he would have gotten. And if he would have done his test correctly, he would have saw that, okay, it's coming up too dark. I need to add something to this or do more research to change this, to fix this problem so it doesn't come up looking like this way. He didn't do his test. There you go. All right, let's continue on. We have much to do. I have to do this early in the morning because I told you I have to be out back. I'm going to put the 150-inch screen up back. We're going to have some fun with that. That's going to be fun. There is the skin tone of the woman versus the white screen. We have white screens on ours. That's Elite. That's a Vivistorm white screen. Now, mind you, keep in mind, this is the big screen is an Elite screen we have here. Probably with a 2.0. Let me see something like this right here. There we go. And this has a 0.9. So think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. His screen is laying against an Elite screen with probably a 2.0. This is the screen we have laying against our black screen. His screen is not even black. His screen is gray. Our black screen that has a gain of a 0.9. There you go. Give you something to think about there. So we're using a much higher white surface than the Elite screen we have here. And we're still being able to maintain a higher white level against a screen that has a 0.9 gain. All right, so as you can see in the kitchen, the woman's cooking. We're gonna switch it over here, all right? So let's get everything set up, and I pick up the projector and carry it through. Next time, I'm just gonna bring down 2 projectors and do it that way, but wasn't really thinking on that level at all, period. All right. There we are. Get that half and half in there. All right. Mud over on this area. See the difference? See our technology, like I said, white levels are going to drop. I said that thousands of times. Never hid that from anybody. They're going to drop a little, but nothing that's going to cause the screen to become unwatchable as others try to display. And I have a 0.9 white screen laying against my screen. Over here, we only have a 2.0. So that's the thing about individuals who don't understand the science behind black technology, or even dark gray screens or gunmetal screens. The screens are going to be dark. Yes, people who develop know they're going to lose white levels. Basic common sense. We know that's going to happen. But the white levels can't be so low that the picture becomes unwatchable. So it's a bit of a sacrifice there. You got to have the contrast levels to bring in the dark levels to make the colors pop. but you need the white level high enough, sorry about that, high enough to be able to maintain a decent level. And you need that white level there because that's so fruit and different natural colors have a natural skin tones, have a nice, beautiful look to them. So it's a balance. And then all that, once you get that figured out, then you have to figure out how it's going to work with different calibers of projectors, ultra short throws, long throws, 43s, 53s, the lumen counts, the environment, all that plays a part on the reaction of the formula or the screen or the surface. But if you can't explain this in your videos, then pretty much you're just throwing stuff together and saying this is how it looks. The easiest way to display a screen and cut corners is just take a screen, stick it in a poorly lit environment, hit it with the high-end projector, voila, you're done. That's it. This is why this is the first time you've seen this demonstration with us and not with him, and this is his product. We've done these demonstrations millions of times because, not millions, but dozens of times, because anytime, and everybody, you can quote me on this, anytime I display a certified screen, was the first thing I display first, the white screen. Always. And that's how it's coming up over here. Like I said, if he did his test correctly, and like I said, anytime we get a dark screen, we have to test it against a white screen. We need to see where the white levels lay. Now, if the white levels can be increased or improved, then that means we have to bring the technology back. We have to improve the white levels to make them high enough. We're measuring our white levels off a white surface. So that's how we know exactly where to hit just enough to get the white levels to produce high enough, but not enough that's going to take away from the contrast. Where in his product he has here, he has never tested against a white surface, because if he did, he would have noticed that it was going to come out this dark to begin with, and he would have fixed the problem from the door instead of us displaying it here live on YouTube. So that's why I know he cut corners. He didn't do anything. That's the color up close. We put ours up close. That's how dark that surface comes in. And that's a 2.0. All right, let's move on. So I explained that theory. Let's go with, perfect example. Getting down to the fruit. All right, there we are. And I'm just a perfect example why your white levels have to be a certain heightened, because natural colors like this that require white levels to make the colors are much more brighter and more vivid. You know what I mean? This is important. So see how dark the image comes up? As you can see. There should be a difference between the blade and the fruit. You can't see the difference, can you? There should be a shade here and a shade here. See how it is on the white screen? You can see the difference between the steel blade and the fruit. There should be a difference in color there. There's no difference here because the screen can't see white light at all. All right. Take it and put it on our screen. And then we'll move on to something else. There you go. Now let me bring it down just a little bit more. Now, see what I was telling you? There has to be a certain amount of white light in the technology in order so you can see the difference between the blade and the fruit. See, that's what I was talking about. It's the science behind it. It's not just throwing things together, just think together to make a product. Just work behind it, study, a lot of research to get a screen to have the ability to be able to read color, to get a screen the ability to pull a contrast level, deep dark contrast levels, but also on top of that, to be able to produce multiple layers of white levels, which will allow you to be able to see the blade and the fruit as two different colors, not one solid black dark image. See? Sorry about that. When he explains his demonstrations, listen to how he talks. He doesn't explain to you the science behind it. He just tells you black screen, this is how it looks, blah, 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 blah. Short and sweet, that's basically about it. It's not an educational way of basically explaining your own technology. Oh, this is how it looks, and this is, and with lights on. No, I'm gonna leave that alone. If I was in college and I walked in on a lecture like that, I'd walk right back out. I'm not spending my money for this. You're supposed to see a difference. So here we are, we have a screen, keep in mind, that's jet black. His screen is dark gray. How is it possible that the screen that's dark black is producing a white level where you can see the fruit and the blade? Also too, look at her fingers. You can see her fingers, skin tones in her fingers, everything. The fruit in the background with no problem. And that's a 0.9. There you go. This is why we know the demonstrations that he does on our products are fake. His product comes up that way. And like I said, I'll leave the comments open at the bottom. I'll open those up because if he does have a demonstration such like so, please post it. We'll come back later on tomorrow and we'll check because he doesn't have one. Now you see how dark that looks? Can't tell the difference between the knife. For a minute, I think I got my remote control in my pocket. I do. See? Can't tell the difference, can you? How dark it is. Not supposed to look that way. All right, let's go with 4K snow demonstrations, screensavers. Okay, let's go with the wolves. Look at the commercials. All right, so we'll put this here because the wolf is going to get right about there. Hard to do these videos long enough. You start knowing stuff. There is the white levels on the wolf. I think it's a wolf. Yes, a wolf. You want to get up close? You can see that. All right. So now let's bring it around to our screen so we can show it off. See, interesting thing about it is when somebody has something to hide, if someone has something to hide, they wouldn't be doing demonstrations like this. Why would I do demonstrations like this if I have something to hide? There you go. Isn't that a bit of a shocker? You know what the problem we're having here? White screen is producing so much white light versus a screen that can actually pull up a contrast level. Not only pulling up the white level, but we can pull up the detail in the animal's fur, its mane, its ears, its nose, everything, because our screen produces a high contrast level. But also too can maintain a white level. Where the white screen can't pull up contrast on a high white level, and this is why the image is washed out. Also, contrast levels are extremely important when you're displaying white levels. Because imagine if you did drawing from Marvel Comics, and you know Marvel Comics has a lot of detail in the sketches, you know, the dark lines, the shadowing and everything to make the characters stand out, to make them look more in depth with the artwork. Imagine if somebody did that with a whiteout marker. There you go. You need that in there to add that depth to it, to make it stand out from the screen. That's why I explained to you that the technology that we developed on the digital crystal screen paint is old. It's 8 years old. If you went in there and checked out those links that we put in there, you would have found out that, hey, look, this guy has been around for quite a long time. Yep, you would have saw all that. You would have saw the link that I put in there from Europe, where we had a contract in Europe for digital crystal screen paint. You would have saw the partners that were on display. Partners were sitting there shaking hands and handing out tote bags and everything. You would have saw all that. It's right there on the page. I'll put it here at the bottom. Check it out for yourself. That way you can do your own research on us. Put it right there for you. Make it easy for you. And you said, wow, he was making this product 8 years ago? Yeah, 8 years ago, I was making this product. The same gray product that he makes, I made this 8 years ago. That's why I sat there on camera and said, we're going to put half of this in, half of that in, put some gold glitter in, we're going to paint this, and bam, what did it do? It blended right into one of his screens and outperformed 2 of them. There you go. So bottom line is, everything that individual is talking about, his product being a new product, we had it 8 years ago. There you go. And we'll get close like we did the other one. And we're using, mind you, in the demonstration, see I did the side angle gain on that one? So there comes up. This is the projector we're using in the demonstration. This is a Christie 4300 lumen projector, 1920 by 1200. I know some of you are like, you got paint on your projector. This is a work projector. These are work projectors right here. That's why they're covered in paint and dust and whatever. It's a work projector. So we use them for. Mind you, you want to hear something funny? Make you giggle for the day? That's a ViewSonic 600 by 800 720p, right? SVGA projector. Low level projector, not XGA, WXGA, SVGA. This is my main projector from my screen here. This is my main projector. This projector is 4300 lumens, full 1080p, 1920 by 1200 WXGA. And this is the work projector. We don't have to have, see, that tells you right there when I do my demonstrations, I don't have to have a $4,000 projector to make my screen look so incredible. I can use that 720p, 800 by 600 res projector. If I want, I can swap it out easy for this one and get an upgrade just like that. But do I do it? No, I don't need it. I don't need it. Right there on the floor, $59 projector, XGA, NEC. We put it on this screen. We use it in the full lit environment. We do demonstrations all the time. I don't need it. I don't have to have it. That tells you right there the difference between my product and everybody else. Everybody else got to buy the most expensive projector to get the screen to look good. I'm downgrading my stuff and my screen still looks amazing. All right. Let's go from here. We got a little doggy. We're going to come out of here. What's the next one? JNK 4K. Oh, we definitely got to do this one. We got to do this one. All right, now we're going to go back. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. We're going to pause there, right? We're going to go back. Now we're going to take it and put it on our screen and play it through till we hit the bike. Dope. Oakley, dokely. Let's get over here. Look at it. Even with the screen paused, look how bright it is. Now I guarantee you, I told you, when I started my company in the digital crystal screen paint, we made a lot of products like this. But even when I made products like this, I had to test them against other white screens to see exactly where the white levels lay. You have to do that automatically. So the D5K, and I'll post an image of the D5K, a video of that one that we developed, could produce beautiful, bright, vivid images and white levels under D5K, which looks like this individual tried to make, but failed miserably because this can't pull a white level. Let's pause it right there on the Lamborghinis, the Lambos. Let's come over here. And this is the reason why you gotta be careful when people fake those demonstrations. When they fake those demonstrations, you're not going to get what you think you're getting. This is why we do our demonstrations live. The only demonstration we can do live is when we do the screen in the backyard. It has to be pre-recorded due to the fact that Wi-Fi is a nightmare back there. All right, so there we are on the Lamborghini. This is how dark the Lamborghini comes up. Now, you know the difference in my demonstrations here when I do demonstrations against other people's products? You know, see the difference? I don't just take my product and I don't just basically throw it against the screen, do it in the dark, number one. And then number two, I subject my screen to the same thing, but even worse. Because like I said, the surface we have here on the lead screen, this is a 2.0, that's a 0.9. That's way higher than my screen. That's a 2.0 right there. I'm still able to maintain a better level, better contrast, better white levels, and on top of that, better color. The UV Mix can't see white light. That's the problem. And because it can't see white light, it can't pick up color. The contrast levels are too high, and the screen comes out dirty and murky. So like I said, if you look at the odds here, the UV Mix is gray. Signatures are jet black. That's why I can put a Starfield demonstration on this screen and it will outperform this screen because this screen can actually literally see a 100% black level where the UV Mix can't see it. Also on top of that, our screen being jet black produces a higher white level versus the UV Mix. And as you can see in the demonstration, it's clean and cut. Except for on our screen, we put more stress on it because we put a higher performance white screen against it, and it still was able to produce a higher white level than the UV Mix. All right, let's come out of here. I need that J&K 4K. We need to get those white levels in there. This is another good one, train moving.
For High School Musical Theater and Ratatouille.
Perfect example. Let's see if we can get this. Ah, sorry about that. Gotta go ahead again and grab that again. There we go. That's wrong button. That's better. All right, let's play that through. We're gonna stop it right there where the train is actually traveling across a nice snowy background. Now you see how dark that looks? I want you to get a good gander at that image right there. If you had this painted on a 120-inch screen and you wanted to basically display white levels, this is exactly what you will be picking up. Now, let's go over to the Signature 17, which is a black projection screen. Not dark gray, it's black. All right, so we'll come over here, put you guys right there. Take the same image we have here, and we'll transfer it over there. Now, you show me where, in the video, where our technology is coming up looking the exact same way as the UV Mix. Pushing up nice and close like we did the other one. Not only is it producing a white level, but it's also, you can see the utility poles in the background, all the cables, some snow mountain scenery back there. You can also see the rails and the track right there. And the screen was so dark you wouldn't be to see any of that at all, period. You wouldn't be to make any of that out at all, period. See, you have to do more when you do a demonstration. You have to do more than mix some black product together, some fake product, and stick it up and say that's how dark the image is coming up. Common sense would tell you that if a person has live, which we do, they're going to come in and they're going to do the demonstration live. Now, when we do the demonstration live, it'd be pointless if I did the demonstration, say none of this was here, and I did the demonstration on my screen, and I go, okay, that could prove something. But what could prove it even better than basically having his darkest product versus our black product? And doing the demonstration on the Elite screen, which is a white background, versus our screen using the Elite screen with a 0.9 gain and a Vivistorm, showing off white levels back and forth. That right there has a more of an impact than basically just showing off our screen by itself. And keep in mind that my black screens and majority of screens that run through the house are black. Couldn't pick up a white level. There is no way in the world for me to see that screen. Like I said, this morning getting up, you saw me laying in my bed. I'm working on my computer from my bed. That screen is jet black that I'm working on. In order for me to see the text or anything I'm looking at, the text, the white background would have to be high enough to be able to push the text through so I can see it from that distance. But people don't think when they do their demonstrations, they think, oh, I'm just going to do it this way. Everybody will believe it because it comes from me. And that's what it comes down to. You have to have more, you have to have enough evidence to choke a horse. There you go. We've choked the dinosaur, literally. All right, let's switch back over. I said I have no problem with subjecting my products to this kind of punishment because they have to go through it. They have to go through testing. Just like when the individual asked for me to turn my screen around and show the black part of it next to our black screens, which one would pull a white level, a better white level. Sure, I'll do that, no problem. We test our products. When you don't test your products, this is what you get. As I said before, when he was first making this stuff, if he had tested this against a white screen and did the snow levels, he would have noticed his white levels are very, very low. And this is something that needs to be fixed. He never did the test. That's why he doesn't know about it. All right, we need that stuff, the whatchamacallit demonstration. I need skin tones for that one. So we need to grab that one. And the same thing applies to color, real quick. Let me show you something real quick. See how the commercials are coming up? All that's affected by white light. Black screen has to be able to produce white light. If not, the gotta stop doing that. I'm gonna wreck myself. See? There you go. See, all that time you were told that you were getting a more darker, more richer color. No, your color was dirty, very dirty. Do you see how pretty our color looks next to a white screen? See how natural it looks? See how it's not that dark. You don't want a dirty red. You want a natural color red. That's what you want. Natural color greens. That's what you want. And this is a lesson for those of you who have white screens too. Stay away from those things. Well, you can't stay away from a white screen because the bottom line, at the end of the day, that's all they got is white screens. Unless you're going to go out there and buy one of those freaking crazy, insane screens, they're going to cost you $4 or $5 grand. Again, darker screens that will cost you that kind of money because that's where the technology's at in the theater world. Not white screens, not this great screen paint mix that he makes. It's not in that category. I'm sorry. If our 8-year-old technology is matching it with no problem, then that tells you right there it's an outdated product. Buying an 8-year-old screen paint, that's what you're buying. We don't even use that stuff anymore. All right, let's go over to, I need that J and K to pop up. If our colors came out that dirty, there's no way in the world I would be able to show that screen off. You wouldn't be able to see that. Our screen outperformed the white screen. The white screen didn't outperform our screen. Let's try this again. Maybe if I put it in. So I need the model to bounce back and forth. I need their skin tones. J and K. Now the reason why I decided to do this video because someone was asking about it. And as I just remembered when I did the video, I buried it under another video of something I was doing and I added that in at the last minute. So I decided I'm just gonna make a video dedicated just for that only. So they can see that. And that way we can put this as a Beware on our Beware page. Because as I said before, in none of the demonstrations I've seen under this product, I've never seen any demonstrations on white levels. Nothing at all, period. If he did, you would have saw this. Let me see. So let's grab this one right here. And let's go over to the models. All right. And like I said, from designing, I did a couple of really dark gray paints where we were getting in the field of developing dark technology. And I'll tell you right there from the door, I know exactly what's in it. The base is not white. That's virtually impossible. You can't make the base white. If you make the base white, the problem you're going to have is you're going to have to add in too much black into it, and that's just going to make it gray. So you're going to have to put a ton of black just to even it off to get that dark gray. You're better off just starting off with the dark gray and adding the black to it. So we know this stuff already. Now, of course, yeah, it's going to pick up a contrast because the screen has a high black level. The problem is the white level isn't high enough. All right, so we're going to pause right there. All right, the model's face. All right, look at that closely so you can see exactly what you're looking at. Isn't that interesting? I find it's interesting where our signature and our black screens are supposed to be painted to look like this, when actually the entire time his UV mix was doing the same thing that he claimed our product was supposed to be doing. Up close so you can see it. All right, now let's switch over to our screen. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. That's where hard work and dedication comes in that. That's why you have, this is where my faith in the Lord comes in. Number one. And number two, this is where hard work comes in. Getting up early in the morning, hitting the grindstone, testing. Y'all see the tests that we displayed to you online. When we're developing this stuff, the testing that goes in can be a little crazy sometimes, especially with black screens. Black screens are extremely temperamental. And there are times where, yes, my Lord and Savior will bless me with ingredients and ideas to be able to develop something right there and right now. And this is the results of God's technology. It says it right on our website, powered by God's technology. You're not going to come on here and try to discredit my work, discredit my blessing from my Lord and Savior, because he's the one that gives me these ideas. He's the one that tells me, like, this is what we're going to do today. This is how we're going to handle this situation. This is how we're going to out this devil for who he is. I want you to do it this way. Go downstairs, get that white screen, put it up, take your screen, take these two, put them there. This is how I want you to do this demonstration today. This is how we're going to out this devil. I had no problem with putting my technology against a white screen. Because I know the hard work and faith I put into my product. And I know the shortcuts that other people will put into theirs. And your screen will come out looking downright unwatchable. Now we just subjected our screen to the same abuse, but a little higher. As I said before, my white screen is a 0.9. This is a 0.2. So this screen has a higher white level against our screen, and we're still outperforming it. What else can we get? LG snowboarding demonstration. We'll get this one right. Okay, pause it there. Like I said, I don't pick certain select videos that are going. I can't pick certain select videos to make my product look good. We're going back and forth. How can I do that? It's impossible. We're both being subjected to the same video. So how can I do that? So this is what I mean by untested, and this is what I mean by untested screen paints, where, like I said, if he did his test correctly, he would have noticed his white levels were too low. And he should have fixed the problem, but he didn't. He took the screen, probably stuck it in a dark environment, or ambient light controlled environment, did a lot of contrast levels, whatever, smoke and mirrors, and that's how he sold it to you. Now, what he did was, he did a video where he showed the UV mix on a screen by itself, and saying, look how amazing it looks. No, you take that screen, you put a white screen behind it, or a white sheet of paper, white bed sheet, doesn't make a difference, something white. You take that screen, you put it against that, and then you show off white levels. That's what you do. You don't take the screen, paint it on the wall, put a sheet up on, put a screen on the wall with the UV mix attached to it, and do a demonstration, because you're not going to be able to see it. You're not going to see where the white levels are failing horribly. You had to put a white screen behind it, something opposite of it behind it, to see how the reaction is going to change, how it's going to affect. There you go. That's what I mean by always cutting corners. He'll skip any demonstrations we do, he'll skip them like there is no tomorrow. He'll cut them corners like there is no tomorrow. And right there, we got a nice snowy scene right there. Guys coming down the hill. Look at the white snow. Look how the image looks on the UV mix. All right, now, we're gonna come over here. We'll show you from different angles how it looks. Come over here. And we have to put it against our own screen. See if it comes up that dark. See? So that's how we know, number one, the individual fakes all his demonstrations. Even the demonstration we saw with the Black Nova, where he never showed the label, showed two caps. That could have been anything on top of that cap. And then when you poured the paint, that was really suspicious, because how you had the container pointed down, how you hit it behind your body and you transferred over, you didn't show anything. When you review a product, you're supposed to show the product. If I'm reviewing a projector, I got to show you the name of the projector, the unboxing, the whole 9 yards. This is a review. This is what we're doing. So the way he did that, I can tell that that was something. I don't know how. I'm not going to go into this because this is going to be posted to the website. But I'm just saying, I don't know how people can live with themselves and do stuff like that. But, you know, well, at least we're outing him. We're going to be reviewing a lot of his products. I'm going to show you in these demonstrations with our products next to it how he's basically faking the demonstrations, analyze his videos so you can see exactly what he's doing in his videos that are cutting corners to make his product look good. And as I said before, we have an 8-year-old screen paint that matches his product now. You know? But as for the UV mix, no, it can't produce any form of white light whatsoever. You see the angle on that? And it's very, 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 very dirty. And like I said, from experience, from making products, I can tell you from the door, it's basically gray and black paint. That's what it is. It's just everyday paint. There's nothing special about it, because if it were, you would see a difference. How it's being projected onto the screen, you would see a difference. Now, let me show you something real quick. Starfield screensaver. We're done with the white demonstrations. I'm going to show you something interesting. Now, I know some of you are going to sit there and say, well, his screen pulls up an amazing contrast level. No, not the signatures, not the Novas. Novas are jet black. They pull up a 100% contrast level. This screen can't do it. But we're going to show you against a white screen. Sorry about that. I'm going through it a bit today. Starfield screensaver. All right. Now there's a Starfield screensaver on this screen. We do this all the time with dark screens. You can look at this and say, oh, that's pulling a contrast level. It's not. It's actually pulling a dark gray. When you basically have been keen to looking at black screens for years, you can look at something and you can tell whether or not it's pulling a black contrast or not. That's pulling gray. Look at it back close. All right, now watch this. We'll put it against the screen that's actually black. That's designed to pick up a heavy contrast level. You can already see the difference already versus our black screen, can't you? See how our screen changed that screen to, on that screen, it looks dark. That's why I say when we do demonstrations against high-end certified screens, and they always test against white screens, and they tell me how they can pick up a heavy contrast level. And I go, no, you can't. If I put you against my screen, your screen will look like it's gray. There you go. See? So here's the end results of all of this. Our signature black technology, Nova technology, our black technology we developed, picks up a higher white level than this dark gray screen. Can blend in to his gray screens. We've done that too on the channel. We've gone and used this Cinema Mix. We've used this Personal Mix. We use certified gray screens, certified dark screen, gunmetal screens. Our technology can produce higher and brighter colors than these than the grayer screen paints, and also to pull up an image that can blend into their screens or even match their screens. Now, for those of you that say, well, that's not true. We just did white surfaces just a few minutes ago. Come on now. And the white surface, the acoustic, has a 9.0. That screen is whiter than this screen over here, and that screen right there will be to pull up a higher white level than any of these mixes because it's white. And we were able to maintain a white level against that surface. And not only that, do it back and forth against the UV mix. So yes, our technology pulls up a higher white level. It can maintain a fantastic white level for a screen that's black. And it can pull up 100% contrast levels, which you're seeing right here. And then on top of that, it pulls up amazing colors. This is the reason why we have caught interest with companies over the technology. All right, so just showing you the demonstration. No, the UV mix cannot see white. It does not have the ability to pick up white levels at all whatsoever, perfect at all. It doesn't have the ability to be able to pick up contrast levels. You see how close my projector is sitting next to my screen right there, and it still can't pick up the star field at all. And if the person who did, I saw the demonstration, went back in, and it says, no, the UV mix doesn't react that way. Well, like I said, you painted it on a large screen. You didn't have a white screen behind it. You didn't show up any white levels. You showed up a fight or whatever you were showing. It was basically something to camouflage again. You should have displayed that demonstration as we displayed here with the white screen, showing your UV mix in the middle and showing where your white levels lay. Blue screen. Look, you can't even match my screen's level of blue. I'm not trying to be rude here, but it's true. This screen can actually pick up better blues, reds, greens, white levels. I told you, if I said, and mind you, I said it in the demonstration a few minutes ago, but I didn't display it. Anything I say, I have to back up. See? I have to back it up. So I basically I'm very thorough when it comes to my tests. So I can show you where the screen, no, can't compete with it in colors. It just can't compete with it in contrast, and it can't compete with the technology in white levels. See, there you go. Now, like I said, if I say something, I got to back it up. All right, I have to back it up. You know, I have to back it up. All right, we're pretty much done here. There's pretty much nothing else to pretty much do, to tell you the truth. So anything else, as I said before, would be beating a dead horse to death, so no point doing anything else. All right, so you can see for yourself the sample sheets that we tested against our product. This is what we used right there. We used an Elite Pro 1080p acoustic. This is the gain my screen was facing when going against this UV mix, a 0.9 gain. That's what we're using. And then over there, we're using the Vivistorm white screen right here. So, you know, that's what you get. That's what I'm showing, not saying that's what you get, but that's what you get when you have a product that's not tested correctly. And that first time you develop, like I said, any form of dark technology, you are supposed to display white levels on it first to see how the white levels are going to pull up. That is very important before any tests. You can't sell a product without testing those white levels first, because like I said, you don't know exactly where your white levels lay if you don't do the test. That's why I can come here live. I can do a demonstration against 2 high certified screens, stick them against my screen, and show you where the white levels lay, because we've done these tests already. You're not afraid to show something when you've done the tests. When you don't do the test correctly and you cut corners, then your product is going to fail. And that's why when he showed off the UV mix again on his channel, he didn't do a white screen behind it. He didn't show you off white snow levels and all that. He didn't show you skin tones, any of that, versus his product. He didn't show you any of that. Period. Cutting corners. Have to do the test correctly. All right, with that being said, we're done here. And thank you all for your time. Give you a look at the original screen paint that started it all. We can't say it's, I have to apologize about that, because I said it's trash and garbage. This is not trash or garbage. This is the original. This is the technology that started it all. This is the Digen 1 crystal screen paint. But as I said before in my videos, it's old. It's old technology. We don't make it anymore. We didn't make this stuff 8 years ago. And we're able to, and we already done the demonstration, so we don't need to do another one. I'll put the link below where we tested its product against an 8-year-old screen paint that we made many years ago. I put a couple links at the bottom showing you that, yeah, at one point I should say, hello, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. It was a long time ago. And I put down some links to where we had contracts overseas and Europe. For some reason, I don't know why the page is still up, but it shouldn't be there. But yeah, it's still up. You can go in there and look around, and you can see exactly where we had Zone 708. We had Tom Mitch. I can't say his name for nothing. Tom something, but his name used to be Superman on he's a big fan of Superman. His name was Superman on YouTube, and you can see where we have a lot of demonstrations and stuff like that. But yeah, under the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint, you know, we were contracted and all that stuff. But anyway, as I said before, you know, after seeing the Black Diamond technology and seeing how dark and beautiful this stuff was, I was thinking I'm in the wrong direction. Definitely going in the wrong direction, because I'm thinking lighter screen paints, and it should have been the other way around. It should have been more darker technology. But as you work with dark technology, you have to understand that something you're used to developing when it comes to a gray screen, you're used to having high heightened white levels. And you look at it, I seriously look at the screen, I thought the screen really produced amazing contrast levels. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. And when I saw that Black Diamond sample sheet, I saw how the white levels and how that contrast and that color just popped to the screen. That's what woke me up. So you have to do those tests. Anytime you do a gray screen, anytime you dark gunmetals or darker screens, even the elitists, you have to be able to show off the white levels. You have to be able to see where your white levels lay. If they're too high, if they're too low, it's very important, because if not, then you end up like the nightmare I just showed you. All right, people. We're not going to do any demonstrations on that screen at all. Period. I can't believe it's back after 8 years. But like I said, you know, that's why we gave the ingredients away for free. We don't make this stuff anymore. It's next to what we make here. Oh my goodness. This stuff, no. No. The gray technology that we developed under the ultralight gray, it was developed for our customers who still like those particular gray screens. If I had things my way, we would obliviate it from the website altogether. We get rid of it. It's a great product. Don't get me wrong. It produces contrast levels. It does everything it wants to do. But I like dark technology. But like I said, even though I love dark technology and that's my thing, I have to make something for everybody. So when we made a light gray screen paint, we had to develop something that would basically produce contrast and color. And we had to test this against primer and other certified screens, including his product, to see where this product laid. Testing. Same thing here with the black technology. Testing. Very important for testing. Cut corners. You end up getting embarrassed on YouTube. All right. That being said, thank you all for your time. I got to go, and God bless.